Welcome, my friend. Please share and subscribe to.
We love fantastic garden ideas of all stripes, and if you're familiar with our site, you know that we love to share our very favorites. For this gallery, we searched around to find the most eye-popping ideas that are achievable in the average backyard. Some of these are simple DIY projects, while others involve purchasing specific decorative and functional products. The unifying theme is that they are all subtly gorgeous additions to any backyard. Whether you've got a sprawling lawn, an extensive garden, or a relatively compact space to work with, you'll surely find something here that captures your imagination. The more natural, subtle ideas are often our favorites because they often sneak into our view with a fresh sense of surprise. Another common element with these ideas is that they all appear seamlessly woven into their respective environments. There's nothing out of place or stylistically incoherent about these gorgeous gardens and backyards. One of the biggest compliments that can be paid to an elaborate backyard garden setup is that it looks to have been all designed together in one cohesive sprint. Each element perfectly complements the others in a fluent language. With subtly gorgeous projects like the ones we've shared below, that goal is easily attainable. Without further ado, let's get on with these fantastic backyard garden ideas. 1. Garden statues. Garden statues. While this option can range in price from relatively cheap to wildly expensive, depending on your taste in garden statues, it's one of the most classic and elegant garden decorating solutions out there. People have been planting statues in the landscape almost as far back as written history goes, so there's a lot of tradition behind this idea. Whether you're dropping something small and subtle, as pictured above, or something much more substantial in your garden, you'll be enjoying a fundamentally timeless decoration. 2. Rock border. Rock border idea. The great thing about this project is that it requires a relatively low amount of work for such fantastic-looking results. With a great selection of stones, either purchased or gathered by hand, you can simply dig a shallow trench and fill them however you prefer. The look depends on the type of stones chosen and can be tailored to your tastes. 3. Stone path. Stone paths are a classic touchstone, pun intended, of gardens everywhere. They come in all shapes and sizes and can be anything from purely decorative to highly functional. This particular set is sunk just slightly into the lawn for a discreet look that's easy to run a mower over without trouble. 4. Pink garden boxes. So remember how we talked about these projects being seamlessly integrated into their environments? We didn't necessarily mean that they'd blend in. This idea is a testament to the power of stark contrast and, well, bright pink. It's an unexpected, bright burst of color in a neutral, natural environment and frames the garden in a really exciting way. 5. Raised garden boxes. Raised garden boxes. We love garden boxes because they're not only functional, they add a fresh layer of beauty to any garden. First of all, they'll raise your plants and frame them in a handsome fashion while keeping them protected from trampling feet and even water damage during heavy rain. 6. Circular stone path. Circular stone path. We showed you an example of stone walking paths already, but this idea is all about flaunting the stones rather than sinking them discreetly into the lawn. The project above set the broad circular stones into a pebble garden, where they appear to float over the surface, but you could set yours onto the soil or other types of ground as well. 7. Garden pond. Garden pond. We absolutely love garden ponds, so of course we had to include one in this list of favorite backyard garden ideas. A garden pond takes a lot of hands-on work, so you'll either need time and materials or the money to pay someone to do it. But one glance at the image above shows just how completely the results justify the effort. There are 1,000 ways to craft a pond in your backyard, but only you know how to best shape one. 8. Red garden bench. Red garden bench. Sometimes bright colors and contrast are just what's needed. The best part of this particular project is that they match the shade of the gorgeous flowers with the benches, making for a truly cohesive accent to the garden. The leggy geraniums are a beautiful addition. 9. Patterned color flower BEEM. Flower bed along house. A full garden is a happy garden, no? It sounds about right to us. Everyone loves seeing a garden that's absolutely flush with flowers from end to end, but taking it a step further ensures some spectacular results. Try patterning your colors, setting different plants against each other, and generally creating attractive layouts for your garden, so it looks like a single planned work of art. Adirondack chairs make the perfect seating complement to any garden. They're a favorite of deck dwellers and patio patrons everywhere for their comfort and unique look. Most are plain natural wood-toned, so try painting one a favorite shade, matching the flowers in your garden, and see what kind of beauty erupts. 11. Flower-draped pergola. Flower-draped pergola. Pergolas are another longtime favorite yard element of ours. These structures add a dose of complexity and rigid lines to the outdoor environment and mesh perfectly with the plants around them. Try running vines or roses up your own pergola to effectively transform it into a vertical garden. 12. Raised herb garden. Raised herb garden. We already covered raised gardens, but we wanted to include the idea of doing so for your herb garden. This makes for a handy way to make them stand out, defining the herb space as distinct from the rest of your garden. It also frames them in an attractive, timeless fashion. 13. Rooftop container garden. Rooftop container garden. Maybe you don't have a lot of backyard space, or any at all. If you live in an apartment building, however, you might have plenty of balcony or rooftop space with which to plant a garden anyway. There are thousands of container gardens to choose from, so the style is entirely up to you. Whatever you can fit comfortably up there, have at it. There's really no wrong way to plant your own rooftop garden. 14. Bird bath garden. Bird bath garden. While birds love baths, and we love watching them, sometimes you can get a lot more enjoyment out of a bird bath by turning it into a bespoke container garden. There are virtually no limits on what can be planted in one, as long as you take the time and effort to plan it out. With the variety and scale of bird baths available, you're sure to find one that fits your tastes and your yard. 15. Brick path lined with flowers. Brick path lined with flowers. This idea basically combines a brick or stone walking path with an expertly curated flower bed that runs alongside. The flowers add a whole host of attraction to the place, while helping to frame the walking path.